Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.
Nutrition, in the widest sense of it, considers the utilization of food by people to meet all the requirements of the human body. Children in this country are very poorly nourished. I don't want to go into those semantics where say, food is scarce, but therefore people are malnourished. No, it's not as simple as that. If you don't have enough iron for the use of the body, virtually all the mechanisms in the body get affected. With the eyesight, with the thinking, with all normal activities. It is, in a nutshell, the effort by government to make adequate food available to the community. If the government's effort to succeed in this area of food availability, then a lot of the problems will have been solved. There is a need to go out and educate people on some of this. And it can be done at different levels. Community level, school system level, right from primary school. One of the struggles we had at the beginning was to get food and nutrition education into primary school. Thank God we succeeded. Most newly qualified medical personnel have very little nutritional education and information. It's a different matter now. I think most medical schools now teach nutrition as a main course. That's very good for the patients because there's hardly any ailment that would not require a nutrition intervention. Nutrition is a very controversial subject. It is partly political. Take the issue of school feeding, for example, in this country. Is it not political? Proportion of malnourished people in this country would probably would have doubled without something like Gary, access and utilization. These are the components of food security. You need to find a way of making our people to be proud and encourage our dietitians and food scientists to continue to develop packaged foods or packages that our people can use conveniently. One example that has thrilled me in the last few years is the example of ofada rice. When people used to say ofada rice without stone is not ofada. What that meant was that it was reserved for the poor. Now, you see what has happened to ofada rice. It is served in the highest hotels in Abuja and all over the place. It's a big thing. It's becoming, you will not go to a party where there will be no ofada rice. So that transformation, we need to study what has gone on, how that transmission has been achieved. How is it that people have now come to accept ofada as a prestigious food? People are leaving the farms for all sorts of reasons. 90-95% of salt that are being sold in this country for human consumption are iodized. Food processors, they love three things: sugar, salt, fat. One of the good things that has happened in nutrition in the last few years is that government has finally come out with a national food and nutrition policy. The government has a food and nutrition policy. If only they can faithfully follow that policy. That policy spells out approaches that should be used to improve drastically the nutritional status of Nigerians. The country will love to quote all the time, America. They have so much money. But they also have poor people, lots of poor people. But you know what? Government has devised programs, strategies to make sure that they can go to a store and get enough to eat. I would think that Gary was a poor man's food. If you ate just Gary, that means you don't have money to buy something else. Okay? But over the years, people have realized that it's a very valuable product.
Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.